The First Berserker Khazan is a Souls Neo-like action-adventure game that I thoroughly enjoyed. Even though it came out on March 27th and pretty much everyone has heard of it, I recently finished it, and I'll talk about it to anyone who'll listen. It's not perfect, no game is, and I'll get into its weak points too. This game is the latest entry in the Dungeon & Fighter universe. You play as the titular character Khazan. He and his best friend Ozma banish Hismar, a dragon that was terrorizing the Pelos Empire. The Emperor became envious of their fame, framed them, and charged them with treason. You start out with a cutscene where Khazan is all bloodied up, with the tendons in his arms severed as a gruesome punishment. He's being hauled away in a cage, accompanied by a group of the Emperor's soldiers. A mysterious spirit observes all this and causes an avalanche that kills everyone but Khazan. This spirit, Blade Phantom, then possesses him. The two form an alliance. Blade Phantom needs Khazan's body to investigate a growing imbalance in the netherworld, and in return, he gives Khazan the power to go after those who betrayed him.
Your body is fully healed.
It's a classic revenge setup mixed with a supernatural pact, and while those themes aren't new, I don't think that's a fair criticism on its own to say it's not original just because the thematics have been used before. It's like criticizing an artist for using the color blue because it's been used in paintings before. The important thing isn't whether the themes are original, it's whether the themes have been used in an original way. And for that I'll say, pretty much. You can likely guess that Khazan will battle his way through areas and fight people who have wronged him. What works so well with this story is that there are subtle twists and turns in getting there that legitimately caught me by surprise. Like a lot of long games, the story can get a bit confusing. This is a common issue I have with soulslikes, as it can be easy to forget what's going on. In Khazan, there's a character relationship map you can use to refresh your memory, which was a great touch and something I wish more epic games would do. A part of the story that could have been developed more is the use of side characters. You collect allies during gameplay and they join you at the hub. Their dialogue changes as you progress and they give you side content. It would have been cool if one of them actually joined you in battle, either during missions or boss fights. Not every time, but maybe once or twice, like Onion Bro, helping you fight Yorm the Giant in Dark Souls 3. The narrative and combat and exploration are made richer by an excellent soundtrack and top-notch sound design. Boss fights are often accompanied by a full symphonic orchestra with grand operatic vocals. I don't think there are any catchy, hummable tunes, but I can respect that this was likely deliberate so that the music doesn't overshadow the gameplay. Sound design is interwoven in the gameplay as well, and you might not notice how good it is unless you stop to appreciate it. I highly suggest watching episode 2 of Unveil the Legacy, a 2-part YouTube series on making the game. That episode focuses on the sound design, showing the incredible amount of work that went into Khazan's early animations and audio, like his heavy breathing and lumbering gait in the snow after the opening cutscene. Graphical fidelity remained consistently high on my PC, with no stuttering, pop-in, or animation jank, even at maximum resolution and a locked 60 FPS. I also played on Steam Deck and it definitely ran smoothly, but the transition from a high-resolution monitor made the image feel noticeably softer and less defined. As far as visual design, the game has really cool cutscenes that are flashy and exciting. Sometimes the environment of the various levels during regular gameplay can be repetitive and drab. There's not a cerulean coast or anything striking like that. The enemy designs are varied in both appearance and behavior, so you have to learn their types and adjust your strategy as you go. The main story bosses are just as creative. Humanoids, beasts, mages, dragons, you name it. Side content bosses aren't as impressive though. Some feel more like mini-bosses, some are just beefed up regular enemies, and many are watered down versions of the main bosses. Gameplay is mission-based, and I never thought I'd enjoy that as much as I did. I think it's because the missions were so interesting, story-driven, challenging, non-linear, and they just didn't feel like a mission for the sake of giving the player something to do. They felt important. This even applies to side content. You might get some extra lore or find a new set, so finishing the offshoot areas felt rewarding. The main hub is called the Crevice, and it has two sides, the living side and the netherworld side. On the netherworld side, you have these stones called spectral portals where you choose your missions. You end up accruing a lot of allies who join you there, like a witch who can extract lacrima, think souls, from junk armor, augment your gear by sacrificing higher level pieces, and re-roll random attributes. There's a blacksmith who you can give blueprints to that open up armor sets and different materials to craft. You can discover them naturally, or unlock them by defeating enemies in specific ways, which are outlined in the codex you receive. The character Defrona, a scholar in the Netherworld, gives you the codex early on. She also is how you access the training grounds and how you upgrade spirits of advocacy. They're who help you in battles if you want to use them. They are really weak at first, so if you want to use them, you'll need spirit orbs, which you gain by fighting spirits of adversity. You can fight those in a lot of places in the game, and they're not too hard to take down. You also find soul stones that you can break. Depending on how many you've collected, you can return to Defrona and she'll increase either the efficacy of your healing items or the amount of lacrima you earn. Another character you bring to the hub is a jar collector. He opens up different upgrade items and lanterns based on how many of these jars, kodamas, you find. The different lanterns have effects like not allowing the undead to rise again once you kill them, one for revealing illusory walls, and another for making stealth enemies visible, and so on. Within the missions are rest points called nexuses, where you can level up, go back to crevices, and the like. Shortcuts that you've unlocked will remain as long as you don't go to another mission. You make Khazan stronger in a lot of different ways. There's a very basic leveling system for increasing attributes like health and endurance, and I suggest you study this or watch a video because there's a lot of overlap in what these stats do. You also make Khazan stronger by collecting memories. When you finish missions, provided you find documents and some other things, you can trade in memories for different buffs. I liked having these different ways to level up. There are only 3 weapon types, dual blades, a greatsword, and a spear. And upgraded versions of the same weapon won't give you new movesets, just more power. That would have been a downside, except the skill tree more than makes up for it. You earn skill points by attacking enemies, brink guarding, and basically just playing the game, and you spend those on passive buffs that are flashy, health bar melting abilities you can chain together. Some skills work across all weapons, common skills, and while others are weapon specific. A lot of them don't cost anything to use, but the flashier ones, called spirit skills, consume spirit. You gain spirit mostly by fighting, and you can build it faster depending on your armor and accessories and rings. Then there's Phantom Form, which has its own skill tree. It lets you temporarily fight as Blade Phantom, dealing damage without risking your own health. There's even a skill that'll automatically trigger Phantom Form if you're about to die, but it costs 7 skill points and I didn't think it was worth it. I mostly use Phantom Form as a clutch move when both me and the boss were about to drop. You can respec your skill tree anytime with no penalty, which I appreciated. If you want to reallocate your base stats though, you'll need to use a consumable. There are 2 difficulty levels, but don't assume easy means easy. I played around with both, but I did finish a fresh run on regular difficulty without using Spirits of Advocacy, both of which are required to get the platinum. The best thing about the game, and what made me play for so many hours, is the combat. Mastering combos make you stronger and they look and feel awesome. You can't just chain the combos together without thinking. Unless you're a god tier gamer, you will be challenged. The main story bosses are tough. A cool aspect that pretty much negates the need to farm for experience is you get a certain amount of lacrima each time you fail in the boss fight. So you're getting stronger while you're learning the boss. I don't think any other Souls-like has done that. If they have, let me know in the comments. There is a heavy emphasis on parrying, and perfect parrying is called brink guarding, and there's an emphasis on dashing, with perfect dashing being, or dodging being brink dodging. Doing this stuff right can fill up your spirit gauge, which, as I mentioned, is what you need to perform many of the skills. I would have liked the freedom to switch weapons on the fly, but you can't. You technically can use all the weapons in one playthrough, but it'd be a lot more complicated. I did an almost complete playthrough with dual blades and then started a different game file with the greatsword. It was like playing 2 different games, really. Gameplay is missing a jump button though. I just would personally have liked one, but I think this is a deliberate design choice, so I'm not too mad about it. The game isn't cheap. It costs $60 on Steam right now. It is replayable though. There's a New Game Plus mode where you can continue to experiment with several creative builds, and now there's a boss rush mode. I think there's more than one of them actually. Make a Phantom Form build, a strength build that stun locks almost all enemies, or a dual blade build that melts every adversary in your path. I think $60 is a fair price, as this is a game of very high quality. I love my time playing the First Berserker Khazan. My score is a 9.5 out of 10, with a point off for the narrative, but full marks for music and sound, graphics and art direction, gameplay mechanics, and value and replayability. I give it a half point bonus for just being so much damn fun. Khazan isn't for everyone, but it is for all Souls-likes and Neo fans. Let me know what you think about it, and don't forget to subscribe, it means a lot. Take care, and we'll see you for the next one.